All right. I'm checking this. I'm doing a sound check right now. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear my voice. Testing 1, 2, 3. Can anybody hear my voice? Give me a 17 if the sound is clear. I need to know that y'all can hear the sound. Y'all can hear the sound? Okay. Yeah, I tried to play the music, but it just wouldn't pipe in right. So I normally do what I normally do. Um, I'll start out with prayer. And I'm going to pray the prayer that Yahweh put on my heart many years ago. It just turned out today, and I didn't set it up like this. Today is May 17th. This is the day that my mother passed. And I said, wow, isn't that ironic that I would come on the 17th and the day that my mother crossed over? So anyway, let's just show some respect to the Creator. I pray for the many oceans, lakes, rivers, and streams. I pray for every blade of grass, every grain of sand, every flower, and every tree. And as I pray these prayers, I pray that my prayers are heartfelt, and I pray that my prayers are heard. I pray for the sick, and I pray for the suffering, and I pray for the overall royal family. Well, my royal family, I know that some of y'all were over on a couple of about 2 weeks ago. Y'all were over on Lisa's channel, and she did a quick live in regards of my husband's health, and I have been dealing with my health issues, and now I'm dealing with my husband's health issues. It's a combo going on, and first and foremost, I want to thank the royal family for y'all continue to send donations in and everything, and they're greatly appreciated. But tonight, Mr. Santana is sitting here with us, and we're gonna. This ain't gonna be sad. We're gonna, cause I was crying and boohooing real bad over on Lisa's. We're gonna try to keep this lighthearted. Let's keep in mind that we cannot we cannot give out any medical advice because they always got their thumbs on our neck. So we have to be coded in the way that we speak. But I'm more than welcome to take any, or we can exchange any advice behind the scenes via email, which we always do. And so the things that we're going to talk about this evening is my husband's journey and discovering what he went through, the discrimination that he continues to deal with in the medical industry. And I've been watching him go through this literally day one. And thank goodness he's the type of man that doesn't ignore his health. Usually, men have a tendency to just put it off until it's at the last minute. So anyway, here's my husband, Omari. And babe, all you got to do is just speak, and you can just tell by speaking that the voice is coming through. So just say hi to the royal family.
How you doing, family? Hi, I'm glad my wife gave me the opportunity to come on the air and go to my journey, what I'm going through. It's been hard because when it first started, it started about a year ago. And when I was driving to my car at night, and my blood pressure kept on going up, and I didn't know why. And so I went to the hospital. Of course, they kept me near the user time 2 or 3 hours, and basically they didn't find nothing and go see your doctor. So this was extremely difficult because I went to the emergency a total of about at least 10 times in trying to explain why you guys can't figure out what's going on with me. And basically, I got to run around and said, "Go see your doctor. Here's go see Carter at your heart
Cardi-
doctor, and
cardiologist.
cardiologist, and try to find out what's going on. In the meantime, they charged me all this money, and I think my insurance paid most of it, but a lot of it they didn't pay.
What, like one bill we received was like $8,000,
Eight
and it's like, what did they do for $8,000?
and see,
Damn.
when you go into the hospital, they put me in a room, and basically after about 2 or 3 hours, they do blood tests and everything else, and you tell them about your situation, and after the blood test, you said go see your doctor and everything else, but they always said it was my heart, so I I just came home disappointing, and it was kind of like uh, tripping me out because I always couldn't try to get to the bottom of it because I was going to all these different doctors, and it seemed like I was getting the runaround, and so now it's got to the point and stage that basically it's got serious. I found out, I said literally about 3 weeks ago
Mm-hmm.
that I had kidney cancer, and it was a mass over my kidney. And of course, when you get that news, you'd basically freak out, and because cancer do run in my family, but I try to do most of the things to not to catch it. I don't smoke cigarettes, I don't drink, and try to be conscious about my health. So anyway, um, after going to trying to figure out what's going on with the doctors when it comes to us, it's always a puzzle for them trying to find out the diagnosis for us. They just give you a flight diagnosis that you don't have no breathing problems, and this is okay and that's okay, but you never get no real answer, and it's keep going on. Uh, I was at Costco, and they called the A card, and I was literally red in the face, and the firefighter told me, and they took me to the hospital. They let me stay in the back of the A car, um, like it wasn't really a serious emergency, and I stayed there a couple of hours, and there again, my blood pressure was way up.
Tell them how high your blood pressure was going up.
Well, my blood pressure was going up. My first number was 194. My middle number was 164, and my last number was about 168. And when you feeling like that, you don't know what to do. I had to train myself not to really freak out, like if I was driving or anything else. A lot of time I just stop and go through it, and it's scary. And I knew something was wrong, but I never could get the answer. I went to this one hospital in the Bay Area, and I went there once, and they did a diagnosis of me. And other than the other hospital, I was going there 5, 6 times, and the lady came out, like, and I was shocked, and she said, "Oh, you got cancer." He said, "What?" I didn't even know that. I didn't know I had it. Because she's the one, the first one to say, "Yeah, you got cancer. There's nothing you can do for you." And then the lady told me, "That's all we can do." So I stepped outside for a minute, and I drove down the block. Then I came back. I said, and I came back in there. I said, "What you mean there's nothing you could do? You could treat me. Treat me what I can do." She said, "Well, I'm gonna call if you don't leave here this minute. I'm gonna call security." And what she did, security guard came out, and I was in there for my cancer, but the dumb security guard thought I was in there for my diabetes. Well, I mean, I had this all the time. You just gotta leave. There's nothing you can do about it. I said, you don't even understand the situation, man. I got cancer, man. So basically, I didn't come there about my diabetes. I know how to control my diabetes. So I left, and just going home, I just felt defeated because at the first time I heard I had cancer, because I thought it was all along was my heart, because So I started seeing my cardiologist, and basically before all this going on, before I started going on, and basically he was telling me they can't figure out what's going on. Your heart's fine. So they took several blood tests. So I know they had to come back with a diagnosis of what I had. This is not a mystery. And the frustration you have in there, you got to keep you cool and everything else. But it's just the way they treat our people, and I mean Black people. It's just tremendous, and they take you stupid, and so basically keeping your composure, knowing that you're going to something, and my only advice I have to our audience, the family, is that when you're going to something that deep, make sure you take your family at all times, because what they're gonna do is dismiss it, go in there and basically charge you. We got bills of what, honey?
Man,
one bill was $8,000, other bill was $10,000. Another bill was $14,000.
Yeah, don't count the ambulance.
And ambulance, and so I don't have that type of money to be having those type of bills holding over my head. So it's a tremendous amount of financial stress put on the family. And I mean, just like right now, and then you check your insurance only pay this much, and they don't pay this much and that much. And so I just encourage anybody with this journey that
basically what you said something key. You got to have an advocate.
Yeah.
You got to have somebody be that voice for you, and don't give up. Like I have a real close friend, Catherine. Anytime I have a close friend, anytime she gets surgery, I'm always there with her. I pretty much know her medical history, and she's a person that's super sensitive to stuff. And something that I learned from my husband: if you ever have had surgery and you got to get surgery again, always get your surgical notes from the last surgery. Especially, you want to get the notes from the anesthesiologist. So when my girlfriend had her last surgery, we went through the whole process. And I told the anesthesiologist, I said, my girlfriend is super sensitive. She's so super sensitive to stuff. She's in the American Medical Journal. Something happened to her when she was a teenager. All right, they did the surgery on my girlfriend. I come back there hours later to go pick her up because she's supposed to go home that day. They couldn't wake her up. They gave her too much anesthesia. But they was taking it like I was trying to tell them what to do. I wasn't trying to tell them what to do. All I said was just refer to the last notes from the anesthesiologist. And the last two surgeries that I had because of my husband, having those surgical notes, because I react funny too to anesthesia. Those last two surgeries, remember, I was wide awake. Right. I was wide awake because remember when I had my back surgery, I was out of it for days. I was just zoning out. So basically, what we are doing, we're taking the holistic and the Western approach to medicine, and my husband is taking certain supplements to heal the body. Then also, he's getting all his data and paperwork together because he's seeing various doctors, and then he's keeping me abreast of it. And then a backup, he has his daughters too as well. You got to advocate for yourself, and you can't just take it for granted that somebody will know. You know what I'm saying? It's very important, because watching my husband go through this, because I'm gonna throw in my medical stuff. It's been about 7 months. What happened to me? I couldn't walk. And when I went to emergency, they just thought I was in there seeking pain medication, and I had plenty of pain medication, and I was trying to explain that I can't walk. My sciatica went out on me on my left side. And so when they wanted to dismiss me, I'm looking at the doctor and I'm telling him I can't walk. And they just want to just get rid of you. I ended up in the hospital for 18 days. You can't make up nothing for 18 days. And you keep this in mind. They work for you. You don't work for them. You don't have to leave that hospital at all. I just want to keep that in mind. Another thing that happened, when I was put in a rehab facility, my husband, we thought we had picked a good one, went to the rehab facility. They put me over there. And so a few hours later, my husband comes in and I'm looking at my husband and I say, you know what, I haven't received any medication. I didn't miss 2 doses of my medication. So we looking at 16 hours didn't pass. So he goes talk to the director of this rehab facility and they talking about, well, we don't have a doctor come on the weekend. So it's a Friday, I'm in there. And so they just gonna basically have me sit up in there with no medication, nothing. I gotta wait till the Monday, and it's a Friday evening. My husband called the paramedics. I had to go back to the hospital, go back to emergency, go back and be readmitted back in the hospital, and then he had to go actively, physically go find another rehab facility that he felt comfortable with. And I tell you something about this place. This facility that he had me to go to in the Bay Area is ran from top to bottom by Black women. When COVID hit, not a one person in that facility got COVID. That's how well our folks get down. And before all this stuff had hit my husband, it already hit me. Lisa has strongly suggested that we change our physicians because we also was going through something with our primary physician. Our primary physician, okay, let's say it's like a Monday morning because I like morning appointments. Homeboy would come in there. He would be filthy from head to toe. I'm just going to keep it real. He would be filthy from head to toe. And he would basically half-ass do stuff. And when I got out of the facility after 18 days, he would not prescribe me no more pain medication or anything. And remember, we were talking about this on Lisa's channel, that since the opiate crisis have hit, the medical industry has like went from one extreme to the next, where people who truly or legitimately are in chronic pain, now they don't want to give you nothing. They want you to see a pain doctor, but all you do is do some meditation and talk to a psychiatrist. They go from one extreme to the next. You know, first you want to prescribe the enemy 500 and 600 pills. You know, they ain't gonna prescribe us 500 and 600 pills a month. That's ridiculous what they're doing. So it ain't the junkie on the street. It's really who is prescribing this stuff in the industry.
How many pills to give your neighbor?
Oh, how many? You can tell them.
Oh yeah, we got a neighbor.
She's white.
Yeah, and she's white, and they prescribe her every time she goes. She get 125 to 200 pills.
Tell them how many pain medications you get a month.
I only get 40.
He get 45 pills a month.
And let me tell you something about my injury, because I was an iron worker. I worked for 40 years, and I have 2 knee replacements, a shoulder replacement, my back, my shoulder, and so basically, I just was limited to pain medication I had. So consequently from that, I just started weaning myself off pain pills. I don't need them every time I get in pain, but I'm just trying to say the disparity for how they treat us and the enemy is very real, you know. And
well, you know what? Let's clear this up. My husband had a knee replacement surgery.
Okay.
And when he had his knee replacement surgery, the surgeon that did his knee replacement surgery, the prosthesis that they were supposed to put in, she didn't put it in correctly. So it started,
It was too small.
It was too small. So it was digging into his tissues real bad. And she said a week after his surgery, he was supposed to be on 0 to 1 pill a day. Now, before he had the surgery, you had only picked up one prescription.
Yeah, plus I had a pain pump.
No, you didn't. Well, I'm gonna tell that part.
Okay.
So he gets the surgery. They got him on a pain pump, and they're giving him pain medication. Okay, after the surgery, when they discharge him, he just leave with his prescription, and he don't get the pain pump. And she cuts his medication off. My husband had to go back and get that knee replacement surgery again. The surgeon that did it, he was so disgusted. He came to me and he told me that when he reopened up my husband's knee, the piece that the doctor put in fell out. But they were treating him like he was seeking medication. I'm the one that live in chronic pain. It ain't him. But I knew something wasn't right. So it's like always casting doubt. You know your body. 9 times out of 10, this is the first time that these people have met you, and then they discriminate too as well. And so let's go back. So after having issues that we were having with our primary doctor, Lisa suggested find some good doctors that look like your own people, and we are doing that. Now our primary doctor is a brother, and I like when I seen him because I was trying to explain my situation. He didn't want to hear all that shit. He said, I want to hear that. I want to hear that. He didn't want to hear. Well, what happened was he's on the journey of getting his patients well. He kind of talk a lot, but what I like is he ain't. You know how you just see some doctors, you in and you out type of thing, and stuff. And it's really a battle when it comes to us. And again, they work for you. You got anything to say, Omari?
Yeah, I got a couple things to say. 20 years ago, my mom was diagnosed with not prostate, but lymph node
cancer.
And
the lymph nodes.
She was in the hospital. I had to take her to the hospital. And once I took her got to the emergency, this white woman basically threw it in the room.
Oh, the enemy threw her in the room?
Excuse me. I apologize.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
The enemy threw her in the room. And I had to tell them, go in there. My mother, she can't undress herself. So it's real how they treat you when you go in these hospitals, you go in the emergency room. And basically it brings back the time like we living in the 1800s, but we live in 2024. So
ain't nothing changed.
And it's like Kim said, that you have to have representation when you go in there, your daughters or your sons who are, and make sure
a good
that
friend, somebody that can advocate.
Who represent you, because you be in so much pain, or you frustrated, you're tired of explaining yourself, and there could be an advocate for you getting the things that you need. Now I had to fight tooth and nail to find out what was wrong with me, and once I found out, I was sad because basically this is something I could attack when it first hit my body, and so my thing is, family, is that we have to take care of each other and make sure basically we up on everything will happen when we go in the hospital, and make sure that you have a family member. and I just want to say this journey has been difficult, and I'm continuing to go on this journey, and just thank you for hearing me out about what I said about my story. All right.
Wait just a second here. Somebody had asked for my
Oh, you went off?
No, we're not off. I'm just on another window. Somebody had asked for my Cash App. I'm trying to pull that up. Some of y'all know these links. Y'all can put these links in too. Y'all know I'm bad about that type of stuff. Wait a minute. Here, okay, wait a minute. Here come LVZ. Let me put him in here. Hey, LVZ.
What's going on? What's going on, Auntie?
We're doing fine.
How y'all doing?
I'm glad you popped in. LVZ came in here to support us.
Oh, I appreciate the LCD.
LVZ.
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 Oh, yeah, LVZ.
He's the comedian, the one that be having us cracking up, and he can speak in different languages and accents and all kind of stuff like that. I don't know how much of it you were hearing, LVZ, but you know, Maury was just talking about his journey of what he'd been going through, and you know, and how we get treated in the industry. It was crazy. This man been to emergency so many times I didn't lost count, and they was basically treating him like he was making it up, and literally anybody that's stepping in. My husband, it ain't even been a month, he got thrown out of the hospital. Somebody just and you know what, when that lady came out, because you don't know if that was a doctor or not, most likely it was.
It was a doctor. She
made sure her name tag was covered and basically told him, you got cancer, there ain't nothing we can do for you, and threw him, and then had him thrown out the hospital.
What?
Yeah, that's why I was saying he been going through a hell of a journey. It, you know, I just been not saying nothing behind the scenes. Lisa knew what was going on, because you know, I'm dealing with my health issues. I don't think some people realize I had to learn how to re-walk, and I'm still, my left foot is still numb. I can't even feel my foot. But we, you know, we just talking, we're still just talking about just the treatment of how we get treated in the medical industry or any type of industry, and then how you got to have somebody advocate for you. And the thing is, you know your body. They work for you. You don't feel right, you stay there. And you can stay, and this has happened to me. You can stay in the hospital just for observation, overnight, a 24-hour. You don't have to leave that place and stuff.
No,
and
they supposed to have a Hippocratic oath.
Yeah.
What's up with the Hippocratic oath?
You know what? They saying all of that and stuff. That's just word salad at the end of the day. But basically what I have learned with my personal stuff, watching with some other family members, and then my husband go through, they do the basics. And it's like, take your blood pressure. Let me get a little bit of urine. Let me get some blood. Okay, we don't see nothing there. Well, then you have specialists. That's when you want the specialists to start looking into things. Like my mother taught me, when something don't feel right, don't ignore it. Talk about what happened with your spleen.
Yeah. What happened is that
that was a few years ago.
A few years back, is that our blood pressure is so high that basically I didn't know what's going on with it, and it was so high it blew half my spleen out of my body. Not out of my body, but it's destroyed half my spleen.
Yeah.
You know. So it's real serious, especially with us. We as black people, we don't like to be confrontational, and we like to be respectful when we're going to the hospital. But a lot of times you can't be confrontational, but you have to let the point be known that basically you need to be seen, and you need to be treated fairly, and basically not get down to the bottom of what's going on with you. But if you go in there meek and wait on they're gonna wait on you and do the right thing with you, then you're totally mistaken. You know?
Yeah, you'll just get ran over. And the thing is, when and our folks know this, when we get to the point, like if you see us in the public and we going off, they done screwed over us so bad. They know what they doing. They didn't pushed enough buttons that that's the reason why we didn't went off. We didn't try to do it in a diplomatic way. And now you insulting our intelligence, and then people looking at you like, well, what they going off for? Well, you don't know the journey that person has been going through, or anything like that and stuff. It's like when it comes to our babies, think about it. Our babies, we have to be the voice for them. We have to listen to them. We got to speak for them. So imagine our babies is going through something medically and stuff. Well, yeah, we're going to get loud, and they want to just blow us off. And the thing is, by the time we discovered what's wrong with us, it is so far gone. It's looking bleak and stuff. And you just don't take no for an answer. And where I'm gonna keep saying this over and over, because they like to twist this game up. They work for us. They work for us. And how I look at it, why would you get in the industry knowing that you are going to deal with people that ain't feeling good physically and mentally? You want people to be on their best behavior. Well, this ain't my best damn day, and I'm feeling some type of way. You got something to say, OBZ? Go ahead.
No, I'm saying I feel you. I mean, the thing that's bothering me is that I'm hearing this from everywhere. Like, I mean, when I mean everywhere, like, I got a friend in Minnesota. She's been dealing with was diagnosed as a diabetic, and she's been dealing with health issues, going back and forth to the doctor, and she's been getting on them. She used to be a nurse, but she's been having problems where they trying to draw blood from the wrong place and wouldn't listen to her, wouldn't bruising her up, and just wouldn't pay her attention, not giving her the right medicine, not giving her mom the right medicine. That's in Minnesota. Then I got family here, and then I got my family here in Maryland, where he's a diabetic, and as far as the system, they fucking him over, like telling him, "Hey, look, you're screwed unless you're a Mexican or pregnant. We're not gonna do much for you." And we paying for. And then I start thinking about me. People be like, "Well, why don't you go to the hospital like this?" I was like, you know what? Because I don't feel like arguing. I said I go there and I argue with these people more than I really ever have to. I said I'm paying these people and I had to, and you're right. They work for that insurance money come out my check. I go to work every day, and every week they take money out my check. It's for that health insurance. So yes, I should put their feet to the fire. I had a cracker tell me, "Oh, well, look, if you had surgery, you never walk right again." I said, damn. So it's just that. It's no other option, huh?
Yeah.
I was like, so I paid you basically to say that? Fuck out of here.
And see, they'll treat you like, it's like, like they'll make you feel like you can't even look into your own medical records. Remember you was telling me they were telling you couldn't have your records? That's your stuff.
Yeah,
that's your record.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. I went to. I had a cancer doctor before when I threw my stream out, and it was the first time I went to the hospital. And this next time I went down to her, I said, "I'm gonna give you a copy. I want to get a copy of my records." Well, we gotta check with the doctor and this. And I said, "You don't have to check with nobody. You just go up there and give me a copy of them."
Copy of my records. These
yeah,
are my records.
You got to be aggressive.
Yeah, they don't mind billing you. Shit.
You have to be. You have to be. be aggressive with the situation when you go in there. You can't be meek and let you know your rights. That you get copies of your records and you go over them. Good copy of your bill, go over that, because if you think that you don't know nothing, that's how they're gonna play you and treat you. They're gonna treat you like you're stupid. And one of the stories I wanted to say, like my mother died 20 years ago. When we got to the hospital, they just threw her in a room. She had cancer, but they threw her in a room and they gave her a bed. And my mom came to me and said, Mari, you have to get me out of here. So that day, I came up to unplug all this stuff, and I took her out the hospital and brought her home when she passed at the house. So I'm just telling you, us as Black people, you can't trust them to do the right thing. They will kill you. And it was another time. It was a friend of mine. His name is Slim. I was going back and forth to the hospital with him, and basically they kept him. And basically they wanted him to do another procedure, hope to stop his cancer or whatever. I don't know what the procedure was going to do for him, but it didn't help him. And they wanted me to drive him out there to the facility. And I said, I'm not. That's your job to drive him out there. I'm not taking him nowhere.
Oh yeah, they got that game. They got that game going.
Well, if you don't drive him out there, you can't come back here no more. I'm coming back here tomorrow. So I'm just saying, you really, we have to come together. This is a major issue with us, them taking care of us right when we paying our money.
Well, tell them what they was telling you this week. Well, before you have the surgery, you got to come up with X amount of dollars. I ain't never heard of no shit like that.
Yeah, now they got this thing. We got this. I ain't gonna even mention what I have, but there's one insurance company. I got to come up with $7,500 in order to have the surgery right by my house, because where I'm going, it's like 30 miles away. And I like to have the surgery by my house so I can come to the house quickly, or have my family members of family
come visit
me. So it's our insurance. We got to really check in with our insurance when we go to the hospital, and we got to check the doctors. We got to check everybody now, family, because if we don't check everything that we're going through, and they would just dog you out like you got that dog you out like we don't have like we don't, like they can't do nothing for you. Excuse me.
Well, this is what I wanted to mention. Another thing that we discovered last week and this week that they also doing. So now the majority of the physicians that we have look like us. Okay. Well, now what they doing, I want y'all to pay real close attention to this. Now what they doing is that whatever kind of insurance that you have, they'll tell you that particular physician is not in the network. They discriminate even that way because they trying everything they can for that Black doctor not to get the referral. So my husband do his due diligence and go and check on his own, and he is in the system. And so you even have to if you decide to use a Black physician that is an unquote specialist and they have to do a procedure on you, they'll tell you, and you can't go by what they tell you. They'll tell you, oh, they're not a part of that network. And then they already have in mind who they want to do that procedure on you. You got to let your physician know that they blackballing you on the low by doing it that way too as well. That's something that we discovered.
And another thing, follow on that note, is that since my doctor's not in that system, they wanted me to come up with $7,500 just to do the procedure. And a lot of us ain't got no $7,500 just to do a procedure that's going to save your life. It should be $100 or should be free.
No. Like right here, it said what happened to people that can't get medical treatment regardless of the ability to pay. And okay, Obama, when he was in office, they made it a law that you are basically breaking the law if you don't have medical. And it has nothing to do with your ability to pay. So why would you have to pay? You're getting a procedure done. Why would you have to pay a percentage of the procedure? You don't know what else is going to be done. They treating people like they cookie cutters. Oh,
Exactly.
And then on top of that, then we discovered that they had outsourced the insurance company that we use. In what country they in?
Bolivia.
In Bolivia. They outsource it. So you got somebody that don't even know our system. They just reading a script and they outsourcing it like that too as well. Ain't that deep? And then
Yeah, it was even. I was saying, if we Google it, Auntie, then we'll find out that Bolivia probably got a better healthcare system than we do.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was saying to my husband, I said, you find overseas, they have excellent healthcare system, like over in Switzerland and different places. I watched the documentary. You go over to Cuba, you get your surgery done, and then after your surgery is done, they give you $500-$600 leaving the hospital. Say, oh, here, you're gonna need a little spending money when you get up out of here. Now you ain't paying for nothing. They're gonna give you your medicine and give you some cash money, so you don't have to be worried about stuff like that. This country is third world when it comes to taking care of they unquote so-called citizens. What this country is good at doing, they're good at patching you up, but then maintaining your overall health. No, that's why I was saying we're taking the holistic and the Western approach to this. What would you say?
I was saying that, Auntie, you giving them too much credit. These bastards only good at doping you up now.
That's true.
They used to could patch you up at least. Like you say, they don't heal nobody. But now all they do is half the time they just doping people the hell up.
Well, just think about it. They be having these fundraisers, like when they would have the Jerry Lewis fundraiser. And as far as I can remember, they would always have these fundraisers, for MS and all this stuff. And say one part of the industry, they have 100% cure. Nobody has to worry about getting this stuff ever again. Do you see the trillions of dollars that the industry will miss out on? So the thing is, y'all ain't too bright then. All y'all doing is asking for donations, and y'all always experimenting, but you're never coming up with a cure.
Exactly. Right.
No.
They doing that on purpose. I say all this money they've been giving. Look, you're right. I remember my great grandma used to make us watch that every Christmas time.
Yeah.
And it'll make me so mad because my mother died from MS.
Oh,
and
wow.
I was like, he getting all this damn money, and he ain't gonna do nothing for nobody. What he doing with the money? And now you hearing the insurance companies sticking people up for $7,500 like it's a damn down payment on your life. What type of man?
You know what? I found out something real deep through a cousin. So I was talking to a cousin the other night to let him know what was going on with my husband. And my cousin's granddaughter has sickle cell. Do you know they got a cure for sickle cell? That girl don't have it no more, but they ain't broadcasting it like that.
See?
And I said, what in the hell? He said, oh, yeah. He said, she don't have it no more. And the girl is 21 years old now.
See?
With all that, you know how they doing all that stem cell research and all of that. They did something with the girl, but it's like when my father was living, he did a lecture at his house. Ooh, this was over 20 years ago. and a white nurse, she had came up to talk about how horribly Black women are treated in the medical industry, and that they had came up with a new way to detect breast cancer by just using lasers, the lights, opposed to putting your breast. Do you know she was showing that they can detect this stuff real early on? I still ain't seen it out. They still doing the old fashioned method. I said, you know, she's showing they got a lot of things that are cutting edge out here that really works, but they don't want to cure you because they ain't making their money.
I was about to say we can't afford it. The people that it's getting used, Auntie, we just can't afford it.
Yeah, we would have to go out and seek.
Yeah.
And then we have to do things like this, word of mouth, to let each other know what's going on. But it's not going to be put out on a grand scale like that. Because what the thing that my cousin told me, I'm gonna have to go back and write down the name of what he said. I had never even heard of what he was talking about. But who gets sickle cell more than anybody? We do.
Black people.
Yeah. So
Black.
yeah. So they ain't gonna be real quick to want to put that out. And stuff.
But I always figured that was curable because I always felt like because we the reason that was given to us. I feel like that was one of the things they gave to us.
Yeah. Because there was a space and time that it was extremely rare that you would hear of any of our folks getting cancer. Yeah, you know, and then another thing that's going down. Do you notice that you hearing children having ailments like old folks is having, high blood pressure, arthritis, you know? Yeah, you kids is playing on the schoolyard and passing out, dropping dead, and then what did they die
what's
of?
That other stuff, what's that other stuff? I know somebody got it too. It's like arthritis. What is it? Crohn's.
Oh, that's Crohn's. Isn't that have something to do like with your bowels and stuff like that?
Is that not? Is it Crohn's or is it what's the or carpal tunnel with one that got something to do with your wrist and hand?
That would be carpal tunnel.
Okay, yeah, he had that. I was like, boy, you 27.
Damn.
He was like, I know.
Yeah, I was watching a video where they were showing kids that was under 10 years old with arthritis, having strokes, high blood pressure. You know, they got more and more of that going on too as well. And it's all and what that is, that's that American diet. It's horrible.
I say it's the food they eat. They eat drugs. That's why I get on my side about eating vegetables, eat salads, eat because you have to eat fruit. You have to.
Yeah, we got some people in our family. All they feed their kids is mac and cheese every day because that's what the child want. And I said, when I was coming up as a child, my mother, even though I was the only child, my mother said, whatever I cook, you eat that or go to bed. She wasn't cooking no extra meal.
Nah.
Now
what was on the menu? What was made?
That's it, and that's all. And now you're hearing people 3 or 4 kids, and they cooking 3 or 4 different meals because they don't like this and they don't like that. Well, go on to bed. You'll get hungry. But yeah, you know, mac and cheese is a dead food. That is something that should not be eaten on a daily basis. I can see, you know, messing up during the holidays and stuff. But that's anything that you eaten out of a can, anything that you eaten out of a box is dead. It has no nutritional value. None at all.
Just thought.
None at all.
Now
Dirty.
we have to set up a commission amongst us, our families, and in this country, to let them know this abuse is being done, and have people who represent people that basically who being the representative when they go to the hospital, because this is long overdue, because they acting like it's the 1900s how they're doing this, 1800s, you know. So it's very, very real. Discrimination is going on when it comes to us when we get sick and we go to the hospital. They act like they didn't even want to touch you, you know. And basically, I asked one thing. I asked for. I said, "Can you give me something to eat?" And the lady just turned her head, you know. So and so it's this is a real serious problem in America.
You know what I was thinking of when you're talking about like one time I had told my girlfriend, she was, because they have heart disease bad in their family, Catherine.
Yeah.
And I told her, I said, next time you go to the doctor, ask them to have an echogram run opposed to an EKG. So she said, oh, okay. So she researched what an echogram is, because the echogram can really get to it. Do you know when she went in there and asked them people to have an echogram run, they said, where you get that from? They didn't want to do it.
Right.
Because it costs more to have the echogram run, but doing the EKG, that's just something standard.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you know, that's just
going to turn on your
heart. This is really going deep in, checking out what's going on with you. Y'all hear what I'm saying? The hell with a EKG, a echogram, you know, and then they want.
You know what? Y'all are brilliant, because y'all just. I'm sitting here thinking of something. You and Aunt are brilliant. You know, we should start some type of medical advocacy for Black people where people like who are nurses, or see, we got a lot of Black ladies and men who are nurses who know their shit. And if they could somehow, you know, be an advocate, like say somebody need to go to the nurse or go to the doctor. Look, I'm going to the doctor tomorrow and they've been acting weird. Can you show up and you know, see if everything they doing is on the up and up? They don't know if you family, and I know this. It's okay. They can be here. Hey, can you and this nurse? And I'm thinking about it because, like Unc just said, my friend I was telling you about, she's a nurse, and whenever I call her, she's always cussing somebody out and schooling them on their medical. And the doctor, she's like, "No, I was a nurse. This is what you do. You didn't do this. You didn't do that." And they are quiet. So, and I thought, you know what?
She letting them hang themselves then. She going in, not saying anything, and then seeing if they're going to, you know, run the right type of test and stuff.
And then she got you, Auntie, she on them. The minute they mess up, so you ain't going to run this. So I'm just going to see if you going to run this or run it. And she do that Minnesota nice stuff. So this is on point with it. And now that I think about that, we gotta have more nurses and stuff like that in the community that's willing to look out, because we need that.
Yeah, and you know what? We have to do what we do best, LVZ, and this is what we do best. Coming together in smaller groups, talking about what we talk about, and then sending this link out is word of mouth. It's word of mouth. I got a because you're making me think. I got a cousin down in Florida that's a doctor. That would and I know his nature. He would be more than willing to try to do something. You know, it's almost like to the point of like when back in the day when our folks traveled and we had that green book and we knew
exactly,
you know where exactly where we could lay our head at and all of that, just for our utter safety. We're gonna have to do it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to, like, okay, we know we can know. Yep, that'd be perfect though, Auntie. Like, okay, guys, if you live in, say, just for example, somewhere in Indianapolis, Indiana. Okay, well, we know we got 3 nurses that's a part of the advocacy group that works at this hospital. So if you go to this hospital, you should be good. If you don't feel good, ask for these 3 nurses. Or if you go to this hospital, it ain't nothing but Peckerwoods in there. So you want to get a nurse, and she works on these days, but she does advocacy work for us. She'll be there. If you set your appointment at this time, she can be there.
That's right. You're right about that. You're right about that. But I want to because I don't want to drag this out. I wanted you to let them, because I'm gonna keep y'all updated what's going on. So let them, Amari, let them know what's going to be the next step now.
Next step, today I went and got all my medical records from the last surgery I had, and that was like 10 years ago, to make sure the anesthesia is right. And the next step is I'm gonna have surgery on the 5th of next month. Keep me on your prayers. And basically to my journey, and so it feels like a dream, because basically I was trying so hard to get help at the hospital, and it seemed like I'm in a dream with everything, with my wife, my children, and everything else. And you know, I'm a family man, so I help my family, my closest friends, and now I need help.
Yeah, he's always the one that's rescuing us, taking care of us. He's our rock, and we got to rally around my husband and deal with him. One thing that I do appreciate about you, Amari, is that you don't ignore the slightest thing, and that don't mean you crazy and stuff. And he does that. Beverly, he drinks tons of water. Right, I'm looking at, he's drinking these big old, what is this, 32-ounce bottles with water with electrolytes in it and everything. You've been drinking a lot of that. And then some things, you know, I can't mention because then they act like we're giving out medical advice.
Yeah, so it's coming down to we have to check on our people. You got to check on your family members, especially your mother, your father, your son, even your babies, because and making sure that they do the right thing when you go into these hospitals. And if you feel the slide that you're getting slided, you know, write everything down. Even bring a tape recorder if you have to. You know, you can get a tape recorders. And that's what I'm doing now. I got a tape recorder. I'm taping them everything they say and do, and then this way, you know, they can't contradict anything that you might say if you got to go into suing them. But the bottom line, we have to look out for one another, and because they don't care, you know.
They don't.
And they, I've seen times where I've been in waiting rooms where they take them first. And leave us sitting there to be last. So we have to step all over this country and make sure we get the right medical care. You know, like they discriminate you on these jobs, they're doing the same thing in these hospitals.
Yeah, the whole it doesn't matter what industry it is in America.
No.
They got it all sold up where they're going to discriminate against the royal family. And I see y'all comments in here. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do.
I like the comments here.
What I'm gonna do is I'm once this video has totally uploaded, I will put the correct Cash App, and I will also put the link, and I've been putting the link through, but I'm gonna permanently put the correct Cash App and the link to the Go Fund and stuff. And I thank everybody. Like I said, y'all know how I get down on my channel. I greatly appreciate that $5. It's hard for us. We don't have no money. We don't have no money. But you'd be amazed if enough people give $5, how that helps. We got LVZ. He's a single parent, raising another child on his own. And just when it's time for little man to hit school, I know me and Lisa do it. We look out for him, you know, And I see what you put in there, LPT. I appreciate it. I really do. I really do.
And I want to say this to the family: we really got to start having our own hospitals.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with
again,
with our Black doctors and everybody else, we have a choice to go to our doctors at our hospitals, because in the future, when we're gone, we want to leave a legacy that at least we try to do something like that. If we can get, 5, 10, how many hospitals spread all over the United States, and our hospitals, so we can get the right care. And,
we had our own hospitals, and I was watching a documentary recently about some hospitals that we had where I'm talking about way back, where that it was literally requested if you got shot up or something like that. It's like, no, don't send them over there on the white side of town. Send them over there to them Black doctors. They're gonna take care of you, because they had a higher percentage rate of doing what needed to be done. And then what they did was they cut the funding out, and then they want to act like they all inclusive. But this one particular hospital in Tennessee that my uncle did his internship in, that hospital was like the go-to hospital for people all in that little city over there, and it didn't matter what race it was, because they were getting better results. And it's like with anything, when it comes to us, we know that we have to do 1,000% to even so that's why we're excellent at what we do, because we know that they watching us like a hawk. Or like when they had the college scandal, did we see any Black kids come up in the college scandal? Because it's like LVZ had us rolling. Okay, you a multi-millionaire and you discover Ray over there ain't too bright. We ain't spending no damn $500,000 or $600,000 on one of our kids. No, hell no, I ain't wasting any money.
How stupid is this kid? Do you got to glue a backpack on? But 1.5 million, damn it. That's 3 Harvard educations. You could have sent 7 just for her to go through rowboating.
Yeah.
How stupid is that?
Hey, LVZ, they had a Asian girl up here in the Bay Area. Her parents spent $4 million for her to go to college, to dummy up the paperwork, to make it look like she was a great athlete and stuff. And I could be a multi-billionaire. I'm not wasting no $4 million on your dumb ass. I'm just gonna keep it real. That money could go to some Black kids that really do know how to do well in school. So when it comes to us, we do our very best. That's why we good at what we do, because there is a certain added pressure. They already hoping that we will fail when we step in. And I know it messes with their mind. How many of y'all work someplace where when it hit the fan, they come and get you to undo their mess ups? How many times that didn't happen?
Exactly.
In all industries. And my husband, his specialty, he's the man that would erect those tower cranes over these buildings and stuff. And then he does other specialties too as well. It was a job that he had to do down there at the city hall in San Francisco, where they had to redo that dome, which that was all metal. And he going into something that was dead hundreds of years ago. They don't have the blueprints for that. And they sitting up there watching to see how it's going to go down and stuff.
I had to build a floor on top of a dome with nothing to hook onto, for that set of scaffold up so they can, for the painters could paint the dome inside. And basically, I made a device where we could actually pick up the steel and use not come along. We use a come along, and basically was able to put the steel in place and in a safe way. And they were just amazed how we did it. So we were real inventive when we come up to doing certain things, and it just gives us an opportunity. We can do it. I was in that industry 40 years, and so I learned a lot, and so I wanted to say one thing. I was telling my wife, I want you to tell how your grandfather discriminated when he had got that arm taken from him.
Oh, okay. My mother's father, he had one arm, and what happened?
Sawmill.
No. He had one arm. He was driving a truck, and he had his arm hung out the truck. He was and another truck hit his arm, and his arm was dangling. So this was down in Texas, down in the this was back in the 40s. So my grandfather drove to the unquote nearest black hospital, and they couldn't save the arm, so they had to they removed the arm up to the they removed about 75, a little over 75% of his arm and stuff. But my grandfather literally lost his arm due to discrimination. I did not know that man without a arm. I've only seen one picture of him with an arm, but can you imagine? That's why he was an alcoholic. Yeah. He had to live through that. And then he told me just before he had passed that he could still feel the arm after all those years. But discrimination made him lose the arm. Now, my grandfather on my father's side, he was a doctor, but he had a PhD in education. And when my grandfather was in the Korean War, they purposely kept him much longer than he wanted to be in there because they had a cutoff point where you could get into medical school back then. It was a certain age. And what they kept my grandfather in was his specialty was he knew how to purify water, and which was very important because you didn't want your soldiers to come up sick with drinking bad water. But still, you see how these things affect us. These things affect us. There are things that once we got enslaved by the enemy, is still affecting us. It's like when my mother's mother passed, the only family that we ever knew was my grandmother. We knew nobody else. When she died, that whole line died off. That was it. She would talk about her mother. She would talk about her brother. Last time she seen her mama, she was 9. Last time she seen her brother, she was 16. And she was guessing at them ages and stuff. So we affected on so many levels and stuff. I mean, LBZ was just talking about the entertainment industry. We are discriminated on all levels. They don't leave no stone unturned.
The way to get your ass, they gonna get your ass. If you go to the doctor, they gonna get your ass. You go to the police. You call the police for them doing something to you. Nigga, put your hands on your head. Ain't this a bitch? They did something to me. You go to the schools. You be like, man, why in the hell are you dumbing my kid down? He getting dumber by being in this school. Then you go try to listen to some music. That's help making you dumb or degenerate, or they use it as a reason to make you dumb or degenerate. So at every front, you got to understand that there is warfare on every front. Like you said, no stone unturned. It is a constant battle. And you always need to be on guard.
Yeah, you sure do. You sure do at the end of the day. So I'm going to cut it short because y'all know I don't do real long drag out hangouts. And I'm going to try my best because my husband have been getting on me to start doing my videos again. I've been gone long enough and stuff. But I just have to admit to y'all, this stuff is depressing when you dealing with your own health issues and then your mate come up with issues. It's like, wow, it's a lot of stuff that we've been dealing with behind the scenes. So I just thank all of y'all for y'all support and everything. You have anything to say
I
before
just
we
want
go?
to thank you, family, just to keep me in your prayers, my family in your prayers, and situation that I'm going through. Just give me the strength to go through it and come on top. And thank you for hearing me out. And you'll be hearing. I would tell you about my journey in the future, how I come out of this. Thank you very much.
So thank you, LBZ.
Oh, go ahead. No problem. Let me say on behalf of all of the people in the comment section, we love y'all. We here for y'all. We support y'all. And if it's anything we can do, please let me know, because even if it's call some of the doctors and have my folks cuss their ass out, I could do that too. So
oh yeah, he sure can. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let me know.
Mm-hmm. So I thank everybody for their support, and like I said, just be a little patient. I will drop the Cash App. I will drop the link to everything, but I want to make sure I get the correct Cash App. I don't want to just put anything in there, and it's better to do it when the video fully upload and the links will be in there, my royal family. So one thing that I'm going to try to do, I'm going to make an effort tomorrow to put up a regular video. It is a lot of stuff going on, and it's therapeutic for me to put up videos too as well. I'm still going through my health issues. I will be getting a procedure done too as well. I just don't know when. I'll just put it to you like this. When my doctor submitted everything, the insurance company rejected it. So I'm still walking around here. I can't feel my damn foot. Yeah.
But these motherfuckers taking money every month though. See, this shit, that's the type of shit. That's the type of shit I'm talking about right there.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just nice just to see everybody. You know, I see so many familiar names and everything in there. And I want to say a special condolences to Sharon. Sharon, I didn't dismiss what I seen, and I know how close you were with your father, because me and you have talked behind the scenes. Sharon has lost her father, so we need to uphold her and everything like that, of prostate cancer. Now, I've been reading them comments. I may not get them all, but I seen that stood out to me, Sharon. And I was wondering, you know, sometimes you don't see people in other comments, you know, because we follow pretty much the same circle. And I'm like, where's Sharon been? Sharon been going through it. We all going through something, you know? And the best thing that we have at the end of the day is each other. Each other. Like I was saying today, it just ironic. Today is the day that my mother passed. I'll just never, you know, you just don't forget things like that.
That's something.
Yeah, and she died of cancer. Yeah, and everything. So my royal family, I just thank y'all, and just holding us up. I believe in the power of prayer, and so y'all gonna see me again. I'm gonna do a video tomorrow. All right, my royal family, I'm gonna check out. You want to say goodbye, Omari?
Yeah, I want to thank everybody who came to listen to the channel and be me on my journey through what I'm going through. And I just want to thank everybody who tuned in and listened to my situation, and just pray on not only on my family, just pray on all the family that are going through struggle with health, you know, and just hope that, you know, pray to God that you get through it. And thank you very much. And I see you at another time and destination. Thank you.
All right. Ashe to the royal family. I'm gonna close out here. All right.
Please. Love you, fam.
All right. Love you more. Okay, we're off.
I do.
You did excellent.